Hi there. Today, before we get started with the course, let me answer four commonly asked questions to me regarding JavaScript, which are what is JavaScript? Next thing is what can we do with it? Third is where does JavaScript code run? And the last thing is what is the main difference between JavaScript and ECMAScript? So let's get started with the first question, which is what is basically JavaScript? JavaScript is one of the most popular and widely used programming language in the world right now. It is growing faster than any other programming language, and big companies like Netflix, Walmart, and PayPal build their entire application around JavaScript. And here is the average salary of a JavaScript developer in United States. That is $72,000 a year. So, it is a great opportunity to get a good job learning JavaScript. You can work as a front-end developer or a back-end developer or a full-stack developer who knows both the front-end and the back-end. Now, the second question is, what can we do with JavaScript? For a long time, JavaScript was only in browsers to build interactive web pages. Some developers refer to JavaScript as a toy language, but those days are gone because of enormous community support and investment by large companies like Facebook and Google. These days, we can build full blown web or mobile apps as well as real time networking applications like chats and video streaming services, command line tools, or even games. Here is an example of a JavaScript game. Third question, where does JavaScript code run? JavaScript was initially designed to run only in browsers, so every browser has what we call a JavaScript engine that can execute JavaScript code. For example, a JavaScript engine in Firefox is SpiderMonkey and in Chrome is V8 or version 8. In 2009, a clever engineer called Ryan Dahl took the open source JavaScript engine in Chrome and embedded it inside C++ program. We call that program as Node. The Node is a C++ program that executes Google's V8 engine. JavaScript engine. Now, with this, we can run JavaScript code out of a browser, so we can pass out JavaScript code to a node for execution. And this means with JavaScript, we can build a backend for our web and mobile application. So, in a nutshell, JavaScript code can be run inside a browser or in node browsers, and nodes provide a runtime environment for our JavaScript code. And finally, the last question is what is the main difference between JavaScript and ECMAScript? Well, ECMAScript is just a specification. JavaScript is a programming language that confirms the specifications. So we can have an organization called a comma which is responsible for defining standards. They take care of their ECMAScript specifications. The first version of ECMAScript was released in 1997. Then, starting from 2015, ECMA has been working on annually releases for the newest specifications. So, in 2015, they released Kinomo Script 2015, which is called ECMAScript version 6 or ES6 for short. The specifications define and many other features for JavaScript. So, without wasting much of your time, let's get started into JavaScript. Hi there. In this lecture, we are going to see about the roadmap that you are going to follow in learning JavaScript. So, you can ask me a question. How much time does it take average to learn JavaScript. So I will recommend you that learning 2 hours are enough to learn JavaScript basics. And learning the core basics of JavaScript can take you 5 to 6 weeks, given that you know some of the basics in computer science and some prior experience of algorithms. But we would also need to learn other JavaScript frameworks like React and React Native. Would probably like learning React and React Native can take anywhere between a couple of weeks and few months. Besides this, the amount of time you put in regularly, your prior experience with coding will greatly affect how long does it take to learn React. But you can't master JavaScript and its frameworks within this period. Instead, you can learn and understand the fundamentals of these things. But learning JS or React JS and React Native is not enough because there are other JavaScript frameworks like Angular and Vue. But you can learn React because this is the most popular and most of the companies hire React developers than Angular and Vue developers. But you can also learn other two frameworks which are React and React Native and Angular and Vue. If you are moving to another company or another project which is based on these JavaScript frameworks. So in the next lecture, we are going to see what are frameworks in JavaScript. So meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. In this lecture, we are going to set up our coding workspace in your computer or laptop. So as we did in the last lecture, we are not going to create the programs in the console tab in Chrome. We are going to use more advanced features that are provided in VS Code or Visual Studio Code. It is the world's most popular and surprisingly free code editing software, and it is not a compulsion that you should choose Visual Studio Code. There are other code editors like Atom, Sublime Text, and Notepad++. There are even more other, but these four are the most important thing. And my favorite in this is definitely Visual Studio Code or VS Code. So let's see how to download it. So open your favorite Chrome browser and go to the search bar and search for VS Code and click enter, and you can see a first option from code.visualstudio.com. Right click on it, and here you can download Visual Studio Code for Windows. If you are using Mac or Linux, click on this down arrow icon and you can download it for Mac OS and Linux. So if you click download, you can see right over here Visual Studio Setup extension is downloaded into your computer. So after clicking on it, you can press run and you can complete the installation. So after completing the installation, we need to install some formatters or some extensions inside visualstudio.com. So let's see how to download it. So let me close these which are used for my developing purposes, and the most important things we are going to download are, the first one is prettier, yeah, just right over here. And this software is important to format our code and make it more beautiful. This is more important, and it is very good for your coding purposes. So the next thing is live server, which is next more important, because if we open our file or project in Chrome, we have to manually uh, refresh the page each time after we make a change. But using this live server, you can make the reload automatically every 5 seconds. So, which is very good for your coding purposes. So, make sure you have downloaded it from Redpick Day. I make sure I'm pronouncing it right. And it has been downloaded by 2 million people around the globe. And it has got nearly 4.5-star rating. So, so that's all with this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to see how to work in Visual Studio Code about JavaScript. So stay tuned for the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there, welcome to our new lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see how to type hello world or how to print hello world using JavaScript. So as you all know, what is a JavaScript engine? Every browser is known as a JavaScript engine. So at first, we are going to do our coding with the JavaScript engine. But don't worry, we are not going to create real world applications in this JavaScript engine. So this is just for basics. So right click on an empty space and you can see an option called inspect. Click on that and a developer console has been opened right in the left of your screen. So if you're working with it, it will not be so comfortable. So there will be a three dots icon right over here. Click on that and there you can see option which says dock to bottom. Click on that and the developer tools has been opened in the bottom. So now go to console tab and here is the place where we are going to type all our programs. So just follow what we do. So let's simply type console.log and a bracket, a single quote, and here we can type any word we want. So I'm gonna type hello world and in the we have to in the colon, so we have to close the bracket once again and let's click enter and see the result. Yeah, as you can see, you have coded your first line of code, which says hello world. In this console, you can also add any number you want. Let's say plus. As you can see, the answer has been came. You can type up to 20 digits of numbers. After that, it will show us some errors. Just a minute. And yeah, yeah. Now you can see option which is E. E means error. So we can type up to 20 words in a row. So if I click enter, the answer has been came. So we can also type alert and a bracket. You can also put a single quote or double quote. It doesn't matter what you type. So yeah, let me type this website is dangerous. Yeah, let me close the colon and the bracket. Let's click enter. Yeah, as you can see, the Chrome says that this website is dangerous. That's what we want, right? So, but you can ask me that the users can't see this in their desktop. We can see this only in console. So that is the beauty of JavaScript. JavaScript is only created for us who are developers, and which is a backend, developing program. So if you want to learn a front-end developing tool which is HTML and CSS. That's what we are going to learn in the next course. So stay tuned for the next course. So in this course, we are going to learn about the fundamentals of JavaScript. So in the next lecture, I'm going to explain what these things explain or what these things convey to the users and how they work. So meet in the next lecture. Stay tuned until the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. After you download VS Code in your computer and if you open it, the interface will be like this and you can create a blank project by going to this Explorer tab and creating a new folder. Yeah, let me go to downloads and I have this JavaScript coding files. I will save all my of coding files right over here and you can compare my files with your files and just to make sure everything goes right. So let me select this folder and you can select any folder you want. And yeah, so right over here in this tab you can see an option with new file and new folder. I'm gonna create a new folder first which says JavaScript tutorial. Tutorial, yeah. So let me create a new file under it which says the first thing we are going to see is hello world again in .js again in VS Code. So after you type your file name, you have to end it with .js so you can tell Java, VS Code that it is the JavaScript file. So if you type .py, it means it is a Python file. So like this, you can finish it with an extension. So I'm gonna leave it in JS, which is short for JavaScript. So let me click enter and a new JavaScript file is open. So also want to create a HTML file so both will be linked and whatever change I make in JavaScript file that will be reflected in HTML. I'm gonna create a new file which says index.html. Yeah, in this I'm gonna type exclamatory mark and click on enter. Yeah, this is the basic HTML code. It is generated by VS Code. So I am gonna keep it the same name which is JavaScript learning. It's not tutorial. I'm gonna type learning. Yeah, it is perfect enough. And so let's see how to link HTML file and a JavaScript file. So you can see a head tag which is right over here, and within this head tag you can link the JavaScript file. So after this title, let me click enter, open a new line, and let me type script, src, script tag, and you can see there is a opening tag as well as a closing tag. So in the opening tag, let me type src, and which is short for source. Here we want to type the file of the main file of the JavaScript file where it is saved. In my case, it is JavaScript tutorial. I'm gonna type JavaScript tutorial, sorry, tutorial slash, and VS Code recommends me that this is the file which you are searching. Yeah, this is the exact file which we are searching. So let me click on enter. Yeah, now our HTML file and the JavaScript file is totally linked. So how to check that? How we can check that it is linked? So let me type console.log and yeah, let me create this and let me type hello world once again. And don't forget to close this line with this type of mark which says this line has been terminated. If we didn't do that, this code will be executing or it will be there until the next line. So it is just like a full stop, which means this code, this piece of code is ended. We are not going to continue again. So after we did that, let me go to HTML file, or we can be in JavaScript, and in the down you can see there will be option called go live if you enable the extension which is live server. So that is the reason why we enabled live server extension in the last lecture. So let me click on go live and yeah. So now you can see a blank file has been opened in the Chrome. So here you can see 1.127.0.0. This is a name of a local computer of one colon. So this is the server which has this file and this is the local computer or no, local network. So it is standard for all. This piece is standard for all the computers in the world and this can be changed based on your computer. So let's see how this is linked to our HTML file. So right click on a blank space and let me again click inspect. And now you can see a hello world has been printed. I can type any word instead of hello world. So let me cancel it and let me type. So I'm gonna type uh, let me type Alexander. Xander. Yeah. So yeah, if I open it, you can see Alexander has been printed in the console. So that is the reason. And now we can see the HTML file is linked with the JavaScript file. So that's how we can link and start getting started with our coding. So in the next lecture, we are going to see the basics of variables and their uses. So stay tuned until the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. Welcome to today's lecture, which is about variables. Variables is the most important topic in the coding workspace because all the programming languages has variables. So let's see what are variables in coding workspace. So uh, let me take an example. If you have a bottle in your hand, we can do a pretty large thing with the water bottle. We can fill the water bottle with a bottle with water, juice, and many other liquid items. So that's where that is called as a variable. We can put anything into the bottle. So let me take an example of a box. You can simply put a computer, laptop, a bottle, a book, anything inside the box which can fit inside the box. So let me create a new file regarding variables. So let me click on new file option and let me type it as variables and .js. So don't forget to put .js in the last. So again we have to link the index.html to the variable. So let me change it to hello world.js to variables. Yeah. So now this has been linked. So let's see how to define a variable in JavaScript. So to define a variable in JavaScript, we use a tag called let. Yeah, let. L-E-T, let. So this means we are defining a variable. So let's see. Let me take a box example. Let box. Here you can type any name. You can type John. John is equal to, or let me take a box example. So I'm uh, saying inside the box there is a book. So let me create the hyphen and let me type something. Box is equal to a book, as we said before. So as I said before, don't forget to close or terminate it. And let me print console.log and let me type, sorry, let me type book. So let me type box. So think for 5 seconds what will be the result in the console. Our time starts now. The options are book or box. Yeah, your time has been completed. So let's see what will be the result in the console. Yeah, book will be the answer. So as I said before, if we put this box under uh, this thing, the printed in the console will be box. As you can see right over here. This is because if we put any word inside this, so anything we put inside this quotation mark will be considered as a string. String means if you put anything inside the string, the same thing will be printed in the console. If we type console.log in at the first. So let's see, that is the main thing that we should consider while creating a variable. So yeah, a book has been printed because we have not added any quotation mark right over here. So uh, let me place another thing. Let number is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So the main thing you should keep it in your mind is when you give a number, a variable, you should not add quotation mark right over here. So I will say you the reason afterwards in the course. So let me type number. So right there you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 has been printed. So that's how you can define a number in JavaScript. So now you can ask me a question. What is the use of defining a variable? Instead of that, we can simply type 1, 2, 3, 4 right over here. Why we want to do these things? Yeah, the same as answer has been printed. So if you do like this, it will be easy because there is only one line of code. So uh, let's see, you have typed this line of code for 100 times. So this is a major project in your company. So if you give it the project to your boss, he says that there uh, there is a mistake, which is instead of 4 you have to type 5. So in that case, you need to type 5 in every place. So that's where variables come in, and if you type let number is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. It is already there, and let me type console.log and number. So let me again print it 100 times. Yeah. So let me cancel it because this we don't need. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 has been printed many times. So now you can simply change only this number. So yeah, all the things has been changed within a second, a fraction of a second. So that is the main purpose of using a variable. So next thing is more important because you can change the value of an variable after you define it. So let me give you an example. In the next line, you can simply type number, which is the name of the variable right over here, and you can type not 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead of that, you can type 9876, and you can close it, and the result will be 9876. So this is the main advantage of defining or updating a variable. So we don't need to type let again and again when we are updating a variable. You can update how much time you want the variable should be updated. So let's see one thing. Let me give you an answer of a real-time example. Let player is equal to 150. So let me give you an example. You are creating a game using JavaScript. So in that game, the user, the or player has scored 150 points in that game. So in that case, within few seconds, he had he has scored 25 points more than the uh, plus 150. So I can simply type player is equal to 175. So let me type console.log with a console.log with player. So it has printed 175 as the answer. So I forgot to terminate this line. So so in the next few seconds, the player has got another 25 points. So let me change it to 200, and the answer will be 200. So in JavaScript, you can update a variable how much time you want. So you can ask me a question, why we want to update a variable in the next line? We can simply go right over here and change it to 200, and yeah, the answer will be 200. Yeah, right. This is because if you're typing a project with 1,000 lines, yeah, 1,000 lines, even I have made a project with 1,000 lines of JavaScript code. So in that case, you need to search manually for the player variable. In that case, lot of time will be wasted while searching the variable. In that case, you can simply type player is equal to 500, for example. And yeah, you can see a difference right over here. This is because the console.log is right over here and the value which I have been given is right over here, which is after the printing the number or the player's value, I have defined the player's point, which is totally wrong in JavaScript coding. So that you should remember. If I put this player's value, if I put the player value, the same player value of 500 here, you can see the answer will be 500. So that is called the scope of a variable. So we will see about the scope in the future lectures detailedly with a special lecture. So that's all with this variable lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. Welcome to our new lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see about numbers in JavaScript. So let me cancel this variable JavaScript file and let me create a new file which says number.js and let me link it again. Sorry, slash number.js. So this has been linked again, and uh, in this lecture, as I said before, we are going to see about numbers. So let me add a comment which says number. So you can simply add a comment by clicking on uh, by pressing on control and forward slash. So let's see what is the use of comment. So basically comment is used when if you have 4 or 5 members in your team and each one of the person will edit a same JavaScript file on different computers. So you can say them that this piece of code is used for that. So like that I'm gonna use or I'm gonna say this as number. And yeah, so the first thing we are going to see is uh, about adding and subtracting numbers. So let me define a variable which says number is equal to 2 plus 2 and let me print it by console.log and number. Yeah, so if I go to the terminal, yeah, as you can see the answer is 4. So let's see what happens if we put 2 plus 2 under a quotation mark. It simply says that 2 plus 2. Now the answer, we need only the answer, not the same printing value. So that's why I said that we shouldn't add quotation mark when we are defining a variable with number. So, so let me close this and now we have seen how to add a number using JavaScript. So let's see how to subtract a number using JavaScript. So I'm gonna subtract 5 from 4. So I have given 5 minus 4. The answer is no. The answer is now 1. So uh, like this you can add any type of number. So let me minus it. So let me see the answer. Yeah, this is the exact answer when we subtract it. So let me check it. Let me go to calculator. Yeah. So let me check it. Let me copy this number first and plus minus and this number. So let's see, let's compare the numbers. So yeah, let me make it a little bit bigger and 262872, and as you can see the result is exactly the same. The last three digits is 984, the same 984, and the first three digits are 262 and sorry 362, and the answer is 362. So like this you can add or subtract a number in JavaScript. So let's see how to multiply a number in JavaScript. So let me cancel these things and let me multiply 25 with 25. Yeah, the answer is 625. So it is the exact answer what we want to get when we are multiplying it. Yeah, absolutely 25 square is 625, and so let me add it 15 into 15. 205. Yeah, exact answer has been came. And the next thing, the thing which we are going to see is how to divide a number in JavaScript. So to divide a number in JavaScript, simply do a forward slash and let me type that number and the answer will be 1. Yeah, the exact answer. And if I put 24, yeah, the answer is 1.04666666 and so on. So like this you can get a divided or answer when we are dividing it. So let's see how to get a reminder in JavaScript. So in some time, in rare cases, you may need to find the reminder of a number. So let me keep a large number. We have to put percentage symbol and the following number. Sorry. Yeah, the answer is the reminder is this is the exact thing. So, like this, you can get the reminder of certain things. So, like this, you can get divided or get the reminder of answer. So, like this, you can play with it and learn more things. And let me give a new thing which we didn't learn. So let me give let number again is equal to 5 plus 5 into 5. So what do you think the answer will be? Let me check it out. 30. So I will give you 10 seconds to find what will be the answer. Your time starts now. Yeah, your time is up. So I will explain you how this answer has been came. JavaScript basically add or multiply a number from the backwards. So if you see 5 to 5 is 5 5 is 25, and if you add it by 5 it is 10. That is the answer which we got right over here, which is 30. So let me give you another number, 25 plus 5 into 5. So what will be the answer you think? Yeah, brilliant. The answer will be 50, exact number. So, like this, you can multiply it. So, instead of multiplying, I am gonna give divide. So, As you can see, 26 has been given. Because if we divide 5 divided by 5, the answer will be 1. And if we add it with 25, the answer will be 26. So, you can ask me, I can't remember how the number is calculated. So, I need to be calculated from the first to the last, not from last to the front. So, JavaScript give you an option for that, which is adding brackets. You can add brackets to it. So, if you are master in Max, you can answer this question why we have added brackets. Yeah, correct. As per the board mass rule, we have to multiply the number which is inside a bracket and next the number or followed. So, now the answer would be 30 divided by 5, which is 6. So, that's how you can get the answer easily. So, let me give you a task. 50 divided into 10 divided by 10. So, let say what will be the answer. Yeah, let me check it out. 50, the same answer. This is this is because 10 divided by 10 will be nothing, and and if we multiply with, so 10 divided by 10 is 1, and 1 multiplied by 50 will be absolutely 50. So that is the answer given by JavaScript. So like this you can add or multiply the numbers. So let me give you more interesting task. So let me give you uh, so can you answer guess the answer? I will give you 10 seconds to find the answer. Yeah, your time is up and the answer is 100. So like this you can add or multiply the answer. So let me explain how this answer has been came. So at first, the inner bracket is added because that is more important than the outer bracket. So the first thing is 10 plus 10, which is absolutely 20, as you all know, and JavaScript then multiplies 20 into 5, which is 100. That is the answer which came right over here. So we have got the answer exactly. So let me introduce you at next variable. Yeah, we can't say it variable. We can say it as constant. So let me create a new file for that. And no, yeah, let me create constant dot js. Yeah. So let me add a comment which says constant constant explanation. So let me add a value of a constant. You can define a constant by const, const, which says you are defining a constant. So let me add bonus. So if you are developing a game, you need to give a bonus value to the players. That's where constant comes in. In some games, you can see that the, the constant bonus will be given if you reach or if you do some task. If you do constant or if you do some work. So let me give bonus to 50. So uh, the main advantage which I said about variables is we can update the variables after defining it. But in constant, we cannot, it is not at all possible to update a value of a constant. So let me give you a trial. So yeah, bonus is equal to 50. Not so 50, it will maybe 60. And let me give console.log and let me give bonus. So, oh, sorry, I didn't add it. I didn't link these things. So let me add it with constant. Yeah. So you can see there's a type error which is occurred. You can see the console says that assignment to constant variable at const.js in fifth line. Sorry, seventh line, fifth row. So So we have added or we have given a value by to a constant. So there is an error. So when we remove the updation of constant value, you can see the answer which is 50. So now I can change right over here which is 80 and the answer will be 80. So anything we can do in this line itself, but we cannot make change in the constant value after defining it. So that's all with numbers. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. In this lecture, we are going to see about Boolean in this course. So let me create a new file with its names boolean.js. So let me give you a quick intro of Boolean. Boolean is a simple statement which says only true or false. So let me first link this boolean and let me give you a comment and boolean is basically a statement which says true or false. So uh, let me take you an example. So there is a two choice in a restaurant that the restaurant has pizza and burger and the other things are out of stock or the food is totally over, so you have only a option of burger and pizza. So let me give you let uh, pizza is equal to true. You said I'm gonna buy pizza, but the next thing is let burger is equal to false. So there are two options that you say that you're gonna buy pizza, not the burger, to the waiter. So he will bring you only the pizza, not the burger. So let me give you a, a real-time example, which is you're going to a website. Basically, for example, take Amazon. Amazon is the world's famous and most popular e-commerce website. So you're going into it, and if you click buy now to any product, it will take you to checkout page if you have logged in, and if you didn't log in, it will say you to log in first. And that's how Boolean work. So Boolean is basically says that true or false, and in this case you have not logged in and you are clicking on buy now, and now you will get a, a sign in or sign up page. So that's how boolean work. So let me take you through a next example, which is you are logging in or you are creating an account in Amazon Prime, and you're registering with a email address. And if you're again going to after registering it, uh, after a few days you're going to the Amazon dot Prime, and if you sign up with the same email ID, Amazon Prime will say you that this email ID is already got registered with Amazon Prime, so you have to try it with a new email address. So that's how boolean work. These functions are made using boolean. That is how boolean work. So in the next lecture, I'm going to teach you how to execute if pizza is true, the output will be different. If you choose burger, the output will be different. So let me take you through the next lecture, which is about if or else statement, which is most important function in JavaScript. So stay tuned to the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. Welcome to our new lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see about if or else statement in JavaScript. So for that, I'm going to create a new file which says if or else state statement dot js. Yeah. So let me give you an example, real-time example of if or else statement. So uh, let me take a restaurant example. So there are three food that are available in a small restaurant, which the first one is pizza, the second one is burger, and the third one will be French fries. So the waiter says you that these things are available. So if you like French fries, you don't take care of uh, pizza and burger. You will only buy French fries. So this is the a real-time example of a for else statement. So let me show you an example. So let me give you a boolean value which says let logged n is equal to true, and let me give a statement, and for that let me give a statement, and I forgot to do one thing. So let me put a bracket and says true. So if it is true, uh, console.log, you can uh, you can watch the course. So I made a mistake which is the quotation mark, and yeah. So let me give another statement which is the else statement, and we don't want to define that it is true or false. So let me simply put a curly braces, and let me type console.log, and let me say login to watch all the videos. Yeah. So let me terminate it, and I'm gonna terminate this too. And yeah, so the logged in is true, so the console should print watch the course. So let me link these things, if or else statement, and you can see right over here the console prints that what's the course. So let me put this to false. We have to place the name of a variable right over here to get no errors. So in this case, the first if statement is false, so is false. So this line has been left by the JavaScript. It is not taken uh, into action. So this code has been left. So if the logged in is true, the first piece of code will be generated. The if statement will be run and the output will be watch the course. Yeah, as you can see, if the logged in is true, the result will be watch the course. If the result is false, the result will be log in to watch the course. So you can ask me a question. What if a user is logged in and not done the payment so far? So in that case, JavaScript will provide you another feature which is if else if statement. Else if statement. Yeah. In this case, so the next example will be has three rules. So the first thing should be let. Uh, uh, who is here? Who is here? So is equal to. Let me place some name. For example, uh, if the you if the logged in person is student, so in that case, if logged in is sorry, who is here is equal to student. Student. In that case, the output should be console.log and inside it, hi student. And the next line, I am gonna print else if statement. Else if, sorry, else if who is here equal to, if the logged in person is teacher, the answer should be console.log and the should be hi teacher. Let me terminate this piece of code and the last thing else if. So here we don't want sorry else. So here we don't want to write any who's here because uh, if these two lines of code is false means this piece of code will be automatically generated by the JavaScript. So console.log with hi admin. So in this case, the first one is student. So inside this variable, we should add the quotation mark after we write who is here is equal to. So now in your mind a question will be raised, which is why we added double equal to sign instead of one equal to sign. So if we add one equal to sign, the JavaScript will search that is who's here is equal to student. If we add double equal to sign, it will say that is who's here is equal to the first student or not. It will compare these two things and it will say the answer. So that's what we want. So we can also put the one equal to sign, which is also good, but adding two equal to sign is traditional and followed by most of the coding programmers. So, yeah, so that's all with this is uh, else and else if. So, in the next lecture, we are going to learn new things, which is logical operators of JavaScript. So that's all with this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.
Hi there, welcome to today's lecture, which is about logical operators. So, I'm going to explain what are logical operators in JavaScript. So, for that, I'm going to create a new file which says logical.js. So, I'm going to add this to this JS and let me cancel these two things. So, in the if or else statement, we saw that if one thing is true, one will be executed, and if it's false, the another thing will be executed in the if or else statement. But now we are going to see about and statement. So let me uh, show you through comment. So this is the symbol of and statement. You can see right over here, where it says uh, both should be will check both sides are true. So let me give
Basic example, which is if you are going to a learning platform and if you buy an course, you can watch it every time, all the time after you buy it. But the learning platform will check two things when you're logging in to it. The first thing will be if the user is logged in or not. And the next thing will be if the user had made the payment already or not. So we can make the decisions like this. So let me do this. Can so let first thing will be let logged in is true. This is a boolean value, and the next thing will be payment done. It should be true. So yeah, let me do next thing, which is if statement, and let me open a curly bracket and which says logged in and payment done. The console should say watch watch the course now, and so the only statement should be like this, and the next statement is else statement should say that console dot log and buy now. So now you can see that watch the course now. This is because both the statements are true. This is the first thing. And if I make the payment done to false, let's see the difference. Now it says that buy now. So we are successful in doing this project. So in this you can give any value that's based on your wish, and this is the first thing, which is AND operator. The next thing is OR operator. OR operator. So this is used when both uh, is not necessary should be true. Even one it is true, it will be accepted. So let me give you an example that if you are logging into a website, uh, there will be two options. The one will be login through Gmail, and the next thing will be login through Facebook. So that's where OR statement comes in. So let me give let G login is equal to true. The next thing is let FB login is equal to false. So the user has been made a login through Gmail, not by FB. So let me give a else if statement which says G login and the or symbol and FB login is true. It should print uh, console.log. It should print you are logged in successfully. So yeah, let me terminate it. So if the if it is not true, the JavaScript should print login. Please log in. So yeah. So now let me go to the console, and it says you are successfully logged in. So let me make it both of them to false. So it says please log in. So this is how OR operator work. So that's all with logical operators. Meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. In this lecture, we are going to see about scope in JavaScript. So for that, let me create a new file which says scope.js, and let me link it with the HTML file scope.js. And yeah, so let me say what are scope in JavaScript. So before explaining about scope, I need to introduce a new keyword or a key, which is var. Yeah, var. So var is 99% similar to the let, which is in the previous versions of JavaScript about 2015, we all used this var keyword in JavaScript. But after that, JavaScript, some developers made changes in JavaScript, and they changed var to let. So let me give you some examples. So var, uh, let me give book is equal to knowledge. Yeah. Let me close it, and let me print book console.log and book. So let's see what is in the command line. So as you can see, knowledge has been printed, which is a var keyword. I have defined the variable book using var. So let me say what are the main differences between var and let. The main difference is the scope. So let me say what are scopes. So I am going to I have created a variable using var, and let me create the variable using let, and let me name it as bag is equal to, which says bottle, and let me close it. And the next keyword can be computer. It's just equal to let me give some name, which is Photoshop. So let me close this tag, and I'm gonna print this. Before that, let me give uh, so let me give a variable, not a variable, const, and uh, let me give some game is equal to somewhat like Angry Birds. So yeah, I'm gonna give a if statement which says true, and I'm gonna give some value to it. So I'm gonna declare some variables. Let is equal to uh, a mobile phones. Don't worry, this lecture will be a little bit lengthy, but I will make sure this is worth it. Mobile phone is equal to uh, mobile phone is equal to game, not game, game with smaller size. And let me print dot log, and let me print bag. So let's see what is the result as given by JavaScript. And you can see game is not defined. So so now you can see that. So yeah, after I've given bag, let me go to the terminal, and you can see knowledge has been printed. But let me go out of the, and let me type console.log, and let me give mobile phone. So you can see mobile phone is not defined. That's where interesting parts come. So this is the main reason that is more important, which is when you define a variable inside this curly braces, it will be existed only inside this bracket, not outside these things. So let me create a little bit same variable like this. Let me give this a name, which is, let's say, is notebook book, and it says is equal to some alphabets. Bits. Yeah. So let me print it again, which says notebook, and let's see what is the output. So both of the errors says that mobile phone is not defined. So as I said before, whatever variables you define inside this bracket, it will be existed only inside it. But if you define a variable outside this uh, curly braces, and you can use it inside this bracket. So let me define a var, and let me mouse is equal to somewhat like movement. Let me close it, and let me uh, console dot log, and let me print mouse, and let me terminate it first. So let me cancel these things. So now you can see knowledge has been printed, and movement is also been printed. So yeah, that's all about var and let statement. So let me do a quick recap. We have created a var keyword. Var keyword is similar to the let keyword. Before 2015, developers used only var keyword, not the let keyword, but most of the developers now use only let keyword than the var keyword. So the main speciality of var keyword is we can define it outside the curly braces, and we can use it inside the curly braces, and we can also define it inside the curly braces, and we can also use it in outside the curly braces, but we cannot do it in let keyword. That is the main reason var is also being used in this time period also by some rare developers. So, so that is the main use of var keyword. So that's all with this lecture. Meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. In this lecture, we are going to see about arrays in JavaScript. Arrays in JavaScript is more important while we are learning the fundamentals of JavaScript. So let me create a new file which says uh, arrays.js, and let me link it with the HTML file. Arrays. Let me cancel this scope, and let me give you an example. So if you are going to define a variable in JavaScript, so what are the basic things you will do? First, we will type let, and we will add some name to it is equal to knowledge. So, what if you have to combine more number of variables in one single tag? A little bit confusing, right? So, let me give let book 1 is equal to the same, which is pages, and yeah. So then the next line I'm going to give book 2, which says mm, reading practice practice. So I'm going to terminate these things, and inside this book we can accumulate these two things, which are pages and readings, but using normal variable tag, which is let, we cannot do it. So let me give you an example. I'm gonna add comma, and let me please copy it and place it, and you can see that errors are started to show in JavaScript. So yeah, Sorry, I'm gonna copy this and paste it right over here. And you can see errors have started to show in JavaScript. So this is because we are accumulating these three answers inside one book or one variable. So let's see how to take off this error. For that, we are using arrays. So let's see how to define array. Like a normal variable, let me give let book, not book. Let me give some actors. Actors is equal to for the arrays we are using not the curly braces. Instead of that, we are using this type of bracket. So inside this, let me add a double or single quotation. One single quotation is more famous and popular among the developers. So I'm going to use that and let me type Robert, not Robert. So let me change something uh, to some like Avengers, which has a lot of characters in it. So I'm going to define an array and inside it I'm going to add all the Avengers characters. First one is Iron Man. The second one is mm, Captain Hulk, and the third one will be Thor. Fourth one will be Spider-Man, man, and the fifth one will be Captain Captain America. So these are the five important characters in Avengers. So uh, don't worry about I didn't write your favorite hero. This is because these are five important and most famous. So I'm gonna use it and let me give console.log and let me print Avengers. So in the console, you can see these five characters has been displayed. So like this, you can add multiple variables inside one, multiple answers in one variable. So let's see how to find the number of characters that are there in these things. So let me explain you. Iron Man is 1, Hulk is 2, Thor is 3, Spider-Man is 4, and Captain America is 5. Like that, how to make JavaScript to count these things. So for that, after the Avengers, let me put on full stop, and there are many functions that are visible to me right over here. So each one does its own work. So in this, we are going to use one famous thing which is length. After doing it, let me terminate it, and in the answer, you can see 5 is printed. That is because there are 5 characters in this variable. So that is how to calculate the number of answers or the variables that are inside this one variable tag. So that's all with this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. Welcome to today's lecture, which is about functions in JavaScript. So, functions in JavaScript are more important when we are getting information from the user and we are giving an output. So, let me create a new file inside the JavaScript tutorial. It says function.js. And yeah, so let's see how to create or how to get the information from user. So let me add this to function.js, and yeah. So let's see how to do that. The first thing we have to do is, at first we are going to type a term called function, and here you can give any name you want. I'm gonna give welcome, and let me create a parenthesis and curly braces. Let me create a new line which says console.log. Inside it, I'm gonna create hello world world, and let me terminate it. After this, let me create a welcome, and yeah. So let me terminate this line, and let's see the output which is given in the console. So let me go to the console, and here you can see hello world is printed, but it is little bit normal, right? So let me make it more interesting by adding a name to it. Yeah, right over here. And instead of hello world, I'm gonna type hello and a space and the plus mark. I'm gonna start with name. Yeah. So let me type inside the welcome. I'm gonna type John. So yeah. At first we have to remove the curly quotation mark, and let's see the answer. So here we want to add the quotation mark. So let me go to the console, and as you can see, hello John is printed successfully. So that's how to use functions in JavaScript. Let me quickly go through it. And the first thing we have to do is type on function keyword, because if you want to define a variable, we will absolutely type let keyword, and if you want to define a constant, we will type const. Like that, if you want to define a variable, you have to type function, and then you have to type the name of the function. It's basically like after let we will type the name of the variable. In that example we are using, in this case you can use anything you want. I am gonna take something like say hello, and let me create a curly braces, and inside of it let me type name. So why we are typing name here? Because we will define name right over here. So I will explain you a little bit more in upcoming tutorials. So uh, now you have to create a curly braces and click on enter, and now type console.log and curly braces, and inside that you don't have to put single or double quotations. Now instead of that you can put another symbol, which is this type of symbol, which is more common in next upcoming lectures. So I will explain you why we are using this now in few minutes. So now you can type hi and put a dollar symbol and then a curly braces. Now you can type name, which we have given right over here. So don't make any spelling mistakes. If you do that, the program will be on error. So the next line, you don't have to type uh, functions or console.log again to print it, because we have already defined this. So if this say hello is given right over here, you have to print console.log hi.name. So we have already defined it, so we don't want to do it again. So for that, we are simply going to type say hello, which is the name of the function, and now create a bracket, and now you have to create a single quotation or double quotation. Single quotation is more oftenly used among the developers, so I'm gonna use that. And here you want to give the name of the person or anything. So we have given name right over here, right? So in that case, we have to define the name. So I'm gonna give John. So let me terminate it, because if you didn't terminate, you can see right over here these two brackets are highlighted. If you if you terminate it, these boxes will be gone. So after you are doing it, it is linked to the HTML page, and let me go to Chrome, and yeah, right, you can see that hi John is printed. Hello John is the last lectures tutorial. So which is similar, right? Which is similar, right? Which is right oh boring. So let me create a new thing which will add the two numbers. So I'm gonna comment here adding numbers. So yeah. So yeah. Let me type as I said before, function first and followed by the name of the function, which is adding two numbers. And the one thing I forget to say is the first word of the function or in a variable, when defining a variable, it should be small, and the other words which are following the first word should be in capital. This is known as camel notation in JavaScript, which is more traditional in JavaScript workspace. So it is not compulsory to use it, but most of them, most of the developers use this. So I'm gonna use like that, and let me create a bracket which says number one plus, no, not plus, and let me create number one, number, yeah, let me read a comma. Yeah. Now in the next line, curly braces and console.log, and now again we have to use that symbol and followed by a dollar symbol, and now we can type number one and number two. So we don't want to add comma again. Yeah. So now we can terminate it, and you have completed it, and now we can adding two numbers. The first number is 1 and 5. So one thing you should remember, as I said before, in JavaScript or any few programming languages, we shouldn't use quotation mark when we are defining a number. This is because if we put quotation now, this JavaScript will consider 1 and 5 as a string, not as a number. It will print as it is. So it is a rule in JavaScript that we should not use like that. So the answer will be 6. So yeah, let me type console.log and followed by number 1 plus number. Yeah, let me terminate it. So yeah, let me type uh, adding two numbers, and now I need to give 1 5. Let me terminate it. Now we can see the answer, which is 6, right? So like that you can define or add numbers using functions. So the next thing is JavaScript is going to get two functions or two or things from us, the first name and the second name. So let me create a function for that. It says getting first name and the second name from this. Okay, so yeah, so now I'm going to create the function first. So yeah, let me type it functions function and full name and a bracket which says uh, first first name comma second name and yeah, next line I'm gonna type console.log. Inside it I'm gonna put this type of quotation mark, and now I'm gonna type uh, a dollar symbol, curly braces which says first name and plus. Uh, no, we don't want to type plus because this is normal. And the next thing is again dollar symbol, curly braces which says second name. So after this, let me close it. Now I have to type full name and a bracket. Inside it, we can type the first name. The first name can be Ian, and the second name should be man. So you can be wondering why we have added a comma and two quotation mark right over here. We can type it single, right? But if we type like that, JavaScript will consider that this is a single first name. So if I type like this, JavaScript will consider Iron Man as a first name and the second name will be undefined. So let me go to the console and see. You can see right over here which says Iron Man and undefined. So I will explain you about undefined in the later or future lectures. So if I do like this, it will be perfect. And yeah, second name. So I'm gonna type Iron Man. So let me terminate it, and in the console you can see Iron Man is printed. So that's how we can JavaScript can get first name as well as the second name, and we can get the output. So that's all with this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. Welcome to our new lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see about for each in JavaScript. The last lecture we saw about functions in JavaScript, and now we are going to see about for each. So let me create a new file for each and JavaScript, and let me link it to HTML for each JS. And so let me give you a quick intro. What is for each? Basically, for each is a function which is very useful in JavaScript. So before few lectures we saw about arrays, right? So let me copy this Avengers tab and let me go right over here and paste it, because this is going to help us. So let me add another superhero name, super one. Okay, so yeah, now uh, we are going to do basically what means we are going to say the JavaScript to print each superhero's name in each line. It is going to be like printing every superhero name in every line. So let me uh, do it practically. So for that, let me do like Avengers dot for each. So already you know that if we put dot and after these things are known as functions, even console dot log is a function. So this function will determine what the keyword has to do. So let me do so let me create a bracket, and inside it I'm gonna put this function right over here. So you might be wondering, right, why we are taking it from function, because for each is also a function and this is also a function, so we can use it. So we want to paste it in the middle of the brackets. So as you can see, it is pasted right over here, and now I'm going to change it to, and I'm gonna change it to hero, because these are heroes, right? So here you can print any word you want. This is like a normal name, and yeah, hero, and yeah, pretty much that's all. So let me go to the console and see what is the result that we got in the console. Wow, that's all. We have got the result, which is we have got all the superheroes name with hi. So let me add a comma, and yeah, pretty much good, and we have got the result. So next project is we are going to add each numbers or the position of the superhero. So basically we will say that Iron Man is one, first line, Hulk is second, Thor is third, and so on. But JavaScript will consider from zero as whole numbers, not as real numbers. As you all know, whole numbers are numbers which start from zero, but real numbers are numbers which start from one. So we will consider from one because that is the international standard, but JavaScript will consider from the whole numbers. So based on JavaScript, Iron Man is 1, 0, and minus 0, Hulk is 1, Thor is 2, Spider-Man is 3, Captain America is 4, and Spider-Man is 5. So let me do what we can do with it. So after hero, let me put a comma and say position. Position. Yeah. So let me remove high. Instead of that, let me add a dollar symbol, and after that a curly braces. Now I'm going to say position. So yeah. So now you can see that Iron Man is 0 and Hulk is 1. So in that order it maintains. So let me do one thing. How we can change it to international standard, which is Iron Man is 1 and Hulk is 2. So let me see how to change it. So simple thing we can do is we can plus 1 after the position. Yeah, that's all. The work is completed. That is, now Iron Man is 1, Hulk is 2, Thor is 3. So, like that, you can make it. Wow, that's all. So, let's see how far each is working on real life examples. So, for an example, you are joining to a website in an email newsletter. So, the website's admin will have all the users' email in an array. But he shouldn't have like that. Not shouldn't, but having in each line, in each email, it will be pretty much good for looking and as well as appearance. So the admin have to change it to a new line. So how we can do that? Does he want to say console.log 0, 1, 2, 3? Does he want to print like that? No. Just only two lines of code. Within two lines of code we can bring it to like this. So not only like this, let me add another three, and which says somewhat like uh flash flash and flash Loki, and somewhat like uh dragon. It is not in Avengers, but I'm keeping it for a namesake. Now you can see it is coming as it is in the line. Let me add the last one, which can be a dinosaur. So yeah, pretty much same. So that's all with for each. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. Welcome to today's lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see about for loop in JavaScript. If you take any programming language, looping is very important and they are very famous. But if you take JavaScript, it is even more famous and it is popular among the developers. So I'm going to teach you about for loops in this lecture. So for that, let me create a file for loop.js and let me link it to HTML for loop in JS. So let me say a quick intro about for loop. For loop is very useful because if you want to type from a number from 1 which is starting from 1 and which ends on 100, do you want to type it 1 2 3 4 in JavaScript? No, that's not needed. You can easily define a condition, you can declare a variable, and you can increase or decrease the value, and you can run the code. So I'm gonna explain this to you now. So, so let me create a comment and let me type what are needed. The first thing we have to type is for and no for, and next we have to type the first thing is declare a variable, and the next thing we have to do is condition. What is the condition from where it should start and where it should end? The last thing is The last thing is increase or decrease. So let me type the code first. So yeah, this is how we should do it. And yeah, okay, let me type it first. So for, first thing is for, and the next thing is declare. So let me keep a name for my variable. Is my variable is equal to 0. At first, you can keep any number. My variable is going to be 0, and my variable is is smaller than 100. And the next thing we have to do is we will not use comma. Instead, we use this type of mark to recognize it. So the last thing is my variable is equal to my variable plus 1. Yeah, that is it. And next is uh, curly braces. Inside that we can type anything. This is going to be our printing place where is console.log. And yeah, here I'm going to type my variable. So let's see what happens. So let's see, it has typed only 100. So let's see why it has typed only 100. So yeah, let me check what is the mistake I have made. Yeah, here is the mistake. So I have made this colon. So let me check onto the console. Yeah, as you can see, our program is successful that it has started from 0 and it is ending at 99. So as you all know, my variable I have fixed to is less than 100. So it should print until 99, not 100. So yeah, that is the reason it has only printed 99. So if I put 1000, it will print up to 999. So that's how it works. So now you will be cleared about what are for loops. So in the future courses, we will uh, create programs, and this for loops will play a major role because we will multiply the same line of same piece of code 500 times or 1000 times. So that time you have no, you will not waste any time to do that. So you can do this only in 3 lines of code. So that's what I need to convey to you in this lecture. So that's all with this lecture. Meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. Welcome to our new lecture. In this lecture, we are going to see about to-dos in JavaScript. To-dos are basic JavaScript things which are used to push things to us. Basically, it's like a diet plan uh, or a day plan or what we are going to do in a day. So it is like a schedule. In this time you have to do this. In this time you have to do this. So let me tell you how to do this in JavaScript. So in the last lecture we saw about for loops, and let me create a new file todo.js. Yeah. So let me cancel for loop and let me see and let me link it first to do. So the first thing you have to do is, so let my to do do's are, no, not are, is equal to, let me leave it as it is, because we are going to create a website for an example. So if you have a website, we want the user to add their daily plan. So for that, we are going to leave it as it is. And yeah, so let me do now we want to type this variable name, my to do's plus, not plus, and we have to add push. Now we have to add a bracket. Inside it, we have to add the task which we want to complete. So the first thing I will add something like go to gym. Go to gym. So the next thing, let me terminate it and let me copy it 4 or 5 times. So let's see how to copy each the same thing for different lines. So press on Shift, Alt, and down arrow. Let me repeat it again. Shift, Alt, and down arrow at the same time. In this way, you can copy the same line multiple times. Let me add go to uh, tennis class. Let me change it to buy a car and buy a house. The next thing can be let me add something like uh, something in it. It can be anything. Drink 15 glasses of water a day. Yeah, like this you can add it, and let me check it first. Yeah, it is linked, and let me go to the console. It is not printed yet, right? So we have to add a function. For that, let me call function, and so now it is not required. So let me cancel it first. Let me type my to do's plus for loop, not for loop, uh, plus for each, and let me add a bracket inside that function, and it should have uh, curly braces. It should have the my to do's, no, not to do. You can give any name you want. And the next thing is POS, which is short form for position. And yeah, okay, let me go to the next. Before going to the next line, let me add a curly braces, and let me type console.log. So let me put this kind of quotation mark, and let me type dollar sign and a curly braces which says position plus 1 and dot. The next thing should be somewhat like to do. So let me terminate it. I have to add a dollar sign. So let me go to the console and check if everything works right. Perfect. So as I said before, our to do is empty, so the user can post all the to dos right over here, and it will be sent into these things. So doing like this, so let me do and show to you first. So copy and paste it right over here. So doing like this is similar to doing like this, but the main difference is right over here we will give all the inputs, but here users or the clients will give the information. So these things which are inside this quotation will go right over here, and it will be inserted to let my to do's. So that's how we can create our own to do in JavaScript. So that's all with this lecture. Meet in the next lecture. Thank you. Hi there. In this lecture, we are going to see how to generate random numbers in JavaScript within 45 to 50. So every time we refresh the page, JavaScript is going to provide us a new number which is within 45 to 50. So let me check it out. So at last it is 46, now it is 47, 47, 47, 48, 49, 48, 47. So it's keep on going. We can extend these numbers even more and more. So I'm going to tell you how to create these type of things in JavaScript. It is going to be a very interesting session, so don't skip this. So let me create a new file which says uh, random random.js. So have created it, and let me link it to the HTML file random.js, and I'm going to cancel this to do. So let me do some activities. So the first thing is let number is equal to um, let me take it as 91 divided by 7. So let me print number console.log number. So let me go to the console and see what is the answer. It is 13, right? Let me give 93. So this is the perfect number for our example. So let me zoom it to get more vision. So now you can see that nearly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There are 15 digits after the dot after 13. So I don't want the JavaScript to do like this. I want the only number which is 13, or the next number of 13 is 14. I want to be like that. Not these many things should be printed right over here. So how can I do that? Yeah, there is an excellent way of doing this in JavaScript. There are two type of functions in JavaScript which they do these things. The first one is floor. Yeah, you have heard it right. Floor. Floor means floor function will not consider these things is there. It will not consider. It will just consider the number which is before the dot. So it will consider only 13, and 13 will be printed right over in the console. So the next thing which I told you before is floor. Not floor, it is ceiling. Seal. Yeah, I heard it. Let me comment it. Uh, the first one is floor. Yeah, it is floor, and it is it will not So this is the explanation of floor. The next thing we are going to see is seal. This- It will provide. So yeah, this is the explanation for seal. So let me get you through the practical explanation. So before showing you that, let me give some uh, show you how it will be. So if the floor is like this, it will print in the console just 13. That's all. It will not print any other number. So if it is seal, it will only print the same number is there. It will print 14. So this is because after 13, 14 is right over there, right? So it will only print the next number, which is seal. So let me show you with this example itself. So let me take out number, and now we have to type math, not math with smaller m with capital M dot floor. Let me get you through first floor and open a bracket, and inside that you have to type number. Yeah, let me terminate it and go to the console and see the answer. As you can see, 13 is just printed as it is. It is not considered these many things which are after the dot. So let me remove it and let me type console.log and again math dot. Now you have to type seal just right over here, and let me open the bracket and number. Let me terminate it again and go to the console. As you can see, 14 is printed. So now you have basic understanding of what are seal and floor in JavaScript. So next we are going to create a random program which generates random numbers between 45 to 50, or, or maybe 60. So it is going to print from 45 to 60 random numbers. So let's see how to do that. So yeah, let me first type let upper. Upper means the highest value. I'm gonna give it to 60, as I said before. Let me terminate it, and the next thing is let lower is equal to somewhat like 45. 45 is going to be the lowest value. So the next line I'm going to give console.log, and a bracket is opened, and now I'm going to give math.floor, and let me open again a bracket which says math.random. The again is going to open a bracket and multiplied by uh, so yeah, let me add upper minus lower, and let me plus 45. This is because the lowest value is 45, and we have to minus the upper value and the lower value. First we have to multiply with the random number. So that's how. Let me go to the console and see what we get as an answer. So as you can see now, the number starts from 45 and it ends in 60. But in a rare case only we will get 60 as a number. So let me cancel it, or let me comment it first. So as you can see, when we refresh each time we get a new number. So that's how you can generate new random numbers using JavaScript when you refresh it each time. So that's how you can create or generate random numbers in JavaScript. So that's all with this lecture. Meet you in the next lecture. Thank you.
So hi, you have successfully came to the last lecture of the course topic JavaScript for complete beginners and their fundamentals. So all the very best for your JavaScript career. So this course is a little bit shorter than I thought, but the next course will be bigger because the topic is a little bit hard and has more number of things to learn. So stay tuned for the next course that I upload. And in the resource file, I will give you all my coding links where you have all the coding which I have been done in this course. So don't forget to leave a review for this course and thank you.